During this workshop, we're going to paint on Crescent illustration board. This is an example of that. You'll see the word Crescent on the back. That's simply the manufacturer. So when I start a painting, put that out of the way, one of those people that I want the Crescent word right side up, I just take a piece of low-tack tape, put it in a little roll to put in between the Crescent board and my board that's holding my painting in place. Then I take a Prismacolor pencil in red. You can use a very thin, or I just happen to have this pencil, so I am using it. I do like the very thin. I think it just means it's a thinner pencil. And then I use that to do a very rough sketch of my subject, giving myself the major lines. And that's about all I need. I might put a little more definition in the mountain. I don't want to get too picky. All right, so I have my drawing in, and then I will use some cobalt blue gouache to put a light wash on there. And the wash is basically an underpainting. It is predominantly water with a little bit of paint on the paintbrush. I start with a fully wet paintbrush for the wash, and I'm going to test it out to see how saturated it is, dark. If I think it's too saturated, I will just either dip my paintbrush back in the water or dab it on a paper towel or rag. And that's that. The next thing I would do is decide what my darkest darks are and indicate those using a little thicker paint. So again, I'm going to use that cobalt blue and some yellow ochre in this little area down in the bottom. And then I might indicate some of those lines on the darker side of the mountain. My light source is coming from here. So that was, I may put a little thinner amount in there. And I have my darks indicated. And then I'll just, since I have that mixed up on the palette, I will add a little yellow to that blue, a little more yellow to that blue. For my areas of the painting that are getting more light. Okay. I'm pleased with that. To move my source a little bit. And just keep moving from dark to light. Yellow those, green those up a little bit. And then I'll move back to into the mid-ground, make it a little purpler, a little thicker. Anytime your palette gets too wet, just take a paper towel and dry that off, either all the way or part of the way, whatever suits your subject. So I added a little bit of white, titanium white, to the mixture as well to push those mountains back even farther. And I'm just kind of doing a mixture of blue and cobalt blue and Venetian red, and that titanium white. And as I want to push things back further, I just add more white or more blue. And you can see that most of my red line has disappeared. I actually think the red line is a nice quality when it does show in places. It lets you see kind of the path the artist took. And it really, I think it adds some nice variety or personality to the painting. And I'll just get thicker paint as I move along and want to indicate some snow-lit sides of that mountain and sun. And if I made any of it too large, I can just go back in with a bluer paint and just cut that right back out. Like a little. Added a little bit of yellow to my white. And I just keep looking and assessing and comparing one value to another value, and color to color. This was catching some light. And then I would decide if I wanted the sky to be lighter in value or change the color, and I could let some of that blue shine through. So that's how I start a gouache painting, and it's about wrapped up. I would just continue to look around the painting and compare values and colors to what's next to it. So that painting is on crescent illustration board, but you can also use gouache on watercolor paper. I like hot press watercolor paper. It's just nice and smooth, and I appreciate that over the texture that would be in cold pressed watercolor paper. Another substrate that I like to work on is cardboard, and this is just simply your corrugated cardboard that your Amazon boxes and your Dick Blick boxes are made out of. This painting is done, the drawing part is done with a ballpoint pen, and the cat and the box that the cat is sitting in is painted with gouache. I look forward to exploring gouache with you at Penn Studio School of Art. Thank you.